I mean, we've seen this with other mobile phone makers as well, Mark. If they don't change with the times, then they just go away. Is that what's happening here, or is there more of a company story here?
Right, very significant scoop from our Bloomberg Deals team, Ed Hammond. Excellent story detailing basically an ode to another smartphone maker falling to the success of both Apple and Samsung, plus new players like Oppo, Huawei, and Xiaomi in China. At one point, 10 years ago, HTC was at the top of its game. It was the foremost smartphone maker, one of the biggest innovators in the technology industry, one of the first Android phone makers, really first to new screen technologies, bigger displays, better cameras, 3D cameras. They were really advanced. And so basically we're seeing their downfall due to the increased penetration of the iPhone and the Samsung Galaxy phones.
Now, HTC did once manufacture the Google Pixel phone, though, which wasn't unpopular. What happened there?
That's a very interesting point. So HTC, they sell their own phones for their consumer business, but they also have a manufacturing business similar to how Foxconn and Pegatron manufacture products like the iPhone, and Samsung manufactures its own phone because of their vertical integration. HTC works along those lines as well and is the manufacturing partner for the Google branded Pixel phones. And again, they're expected to manufacture some versions of the new Pixel, which Google plans to announce in October.
Well, that's fascinating. Now, the intellectual property, we saw, this happen with BlackBerry over many, many years. What might HTC learn from BlackBerry's experience, or indeed Nokia's experience, or any other of the worldwide phone makers that have, had to really downsize and move into other things when it comes to selling its IP?
Right, because of its patent portfolio, which HTC has a very big portfolio because of all the success it's had with new smartphone innovations over the last decade or so. It would be similar to BlackBerry if HTC went into the business of trying to license its technologies, license its brand, which is still fairly strong in the Asian markets and some European markets. So they have places to go. According to our story, they're looking at multiple options ranging from spinning off their virtual reality hardware and software business or exploring a sale of the entire company. But it sounds like, based on the story from the Bloomberg Deals team, that they're still in the early exploration stages. So it's to be seen what they end up doing.
And in fact, one of the people familiar with all of this told our Deals team that part of the problem is that the whole company doesn't belong in one place. So the whole company would never be acquired by anyone large enough to acquire it. It's going to have to be acquired in pieces or spun off because the units are so different from one another.
That's exactly right. Like Samsung, this HTC company is such a big conglomerate with so many different units. They have their VR business, virtual reality. They have their software business, obviously the patent portfolio that you mentioned. They have, of course, the phone business, tablets. They played in the smartwatch industry a few years ago before not really going through with it. So there's a lot of pieces there. And it might make sense for this company to sell piece by piece to potential acquirers that really need those individual elements to up their own game in the technology industry.